Hi there, Kate Bora and Fiona Pearman joining you for this week's Facebook Live, where we're going to start to dig into a conversation around self-advocacy. And this, for many people, would be new language, something we don't use certainly day to day, but it's a really important conversation, Fee, when we start to think about achieving what we want in career and life.
Yes, it can feel a bit uncomfortable. It can feel like something that we might shy away from, but we know that self-advocacy is incredibly important. And the more we get comfortable doing it, the more likely we are to achieve what it is we're really seeking to do. And I think what we wanted to start with is getting clear on what it is and what it takes and why it matters. And when we think about the definition of this, it's really important to understand that if I'm going to be good at self-advocating, I'm going to mean to be really clear and be able to articulate who I am, what I stand for, and the impact I want to make and the difference that I'll make for myself and the organisation.
Yeah, this is really about speaking up. It's being visible. I think when we think about what it takes, knowing yourself well, right? Being able to articulate your skill, capability, and experience. We do a lot of work around this when we're in organizations talking about personal brand influence, authentic leadership. And there's work to be done here. I think this feels hard, and it's hard because many of us have never put dedicated time in to think about, well, what is it, firstly, that I want? So being able to have clear goals is important so that we can then orientate our advocacy, self-advocacy around that. But secondly, who am I and how would I describe that? And just the potency and the opportunities that come when people spend a little bit of time circling around this. I think the important thing is not to focus on getting it perfect, because in our experience, any work around, authentic leadership brand is something that continues to evolve as you do. But actually putting some time aside to actually think about what is it that I stand for? How do I make sure others are aware of that and able to language that on my behalf if and when that's appropriate?
Yes, I think a lot of our work starts with self-awareness. So there's a big piece here about digging in, some self-reflection, some self-understanding. And the deeper we go with this, the more we have good connection with that, the more likely we are to be able to speak from a place that feels authentic, and genuine as we go about sharing what it is that matters to us with others. And I think the important piece is to know what we want to do, have some clear goals, identify who you want to know about yourself, what it is you need them to know about you, and just start to experiment a little bit with that, because we know that the more we resource women and the more they engage in these conversations, they start to develop those influencing skills that are so important, the influencing skills that mean people know about me. And while I'm advocating for myself, they're able to help and support us.
Yeah, we'll talk more in coming weeks around what gets in the way. I think one really important one to flag is many people feel like they shouldn't have to do this. Their work should speak for themselves. And we think about why this matters. If others don't know about your goals, they can't help you. And, in my experience, there is often lots of incredible humans and leaders in your organizations and broadly outside your organizations as well, who are really happy to help you achieve your goals. But they have to know about them to be able to help you. And so I think, if we want to go further faster, our ability to be able to share this with other people and importantly ask for help, act of confidence number 4. But I think there's a really important piece here around, taking responsibility and having agency around being in the driver's seat when it does come to your career and life.
Yeah, what we know is when we leave it to others, when we expect others to just pick up and be able to advocate for us without any clarity, it's hard for them. It's hard for them to do that well. And so there's a real piece here about owning your responsibility, your place with this, and the way in which you express and share what's important to you, where you want to go, how you'd like to get there, all the skills and talent and experience that you bring to the table. And when you do this, it's really empowering. You stand in a place of agency, you stand in a place of being able to speak up, of being able to share. And I think that's incredibly empowering. So we really want to make sure that you're resourced to do this well. And that's what we're going to be doing over the next few weeks.
Yeah, and I think importantly, it also takes away some of the frustration of maybe not being recognised, rewarded, perhaps feeling overlooked. It really puts you in the driver's seat to address some of those things. I think finally, if you are not advocating for yourself, it's very hard. And it's also possibly unfair, right, to expect others to do so on your behalf. So it's an important piece of really stepping into the driver's seat, right? As I said, to achieving what you want when it comes to career and life. So lots of good conversations coming up over the coming weeks around what gets in the way, and certainly around the how-to. If you've enjoyed today's confidence conversation, we'd love for you to share that with your network. Of course, head over to our Facebook page. Lots of great videos for you to dive in there. And if and when you're ready to go deeper with your relationship with core confidence, visit our website, coreconfidence.com.au.